Hello and welcome to Froch on Fighting with me, Carl the Cobra Froch. Whilst I've got you, don't forget to hit subscribe. And by the way, I'm doing a giveaway, a signed giveaway later on. I'll talk about it later on. But if you're not subscribed, you can't be entered, and I wouldn't want you to miss out.
It's looking like Whyte will be AJ's next opponent on August 12th. How do you see that playing out?
First of all, that's a good fight for AJ. Great for Whyte as well, because he's going to want revenge. They've already boxed, and I think the significant part of that fight was Anthony Joshua getting clipped with a left hook when he had Whyte hurt for just momentarily, and Whyte on his back foot threw a left hook and clipped AJ, and AJ wobbled. I can remember working for Sky Sports that night, and everyone in the studio was like all shocked that bloody hell AJ's legs are wobbled. What's going off? And that was a great fight. But AJ then finished off Whyte, give him a good couple of shots, good combination, and he's a great finisher, AJ, or he used to be a great finisher. And he had Whyte hurt, and he put a combination together, finished him with that uppercut, left Whyte on the floor, and it was a great win. And then it was onwards and upwards for Anthony Joshua's career. But the rematch is quite fitting at the minute. Anthony Joshua's rebuilding, and Whyte is at a stage now. I mean, he's lost to Povetkin. He came back and beat Povetkin. He got knocked out by Tyson Fury, and it was kind of just levels. Fury was just, I think, a bit too good for him, and he clipped him with that uppercut and knocked him out cold at the stadium fight. I think that was at Wembley. So for Whyte, it's a great fight to get him back in the mix. But for AJ, it's kind of, people are going to think this is a rebuilding fight. It's a fight that AJ needs to win, and he needs to look good winning, if he can indeed win. I mean, Whyte's going to have other ideas. But if he can beat Whyte and look good doing it, people are going to start to believe in him, start to think he's got that mojo back, and maybe step on then and go into this Saudi tournament that they're talking about, if it's going to happen, where AJ fights Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury fights Alexander Usyk, if that happens. But I think it's a great fight. I think it's probably at this stage a 50-50 fight and a pick and winner. Don't ask me to pick a winner yet. I'll probably do that closer to the fight happening. But this is a great fight for AJ, great fight for Whyte, and one I'm really looking forward to.
Josh Taylor fights Lopez at Madison Square Garden this weekend. Do you see him winning?
Josh Taylor, Teofimo Lopez, famous for beating Vasily Lomachenko. Lomachenko slightly past his best. Lopez is getting on a little bit. Josh Taylor had that fight with Catterall. A lot of people thought he lost that fight. And to be honest, I watched Catterall last week. And it's no shame having a close fight or even losing to Catterall. What a talent he is. What a fantastic fighter. But Catterall fight aside, which was probably 13, 14 months ago for Taylor, Taylor's not been busy. He's jumping straight in with Lopez. Lopez is obviously very confident. He's in America. He's in Vegas at the minute, Josh Taylor. And he's been doing some bits on his Instagram. And it's been nice to watch. Taylor's very, very confident. Josh Taylor is a great fighter. Very experienced. He's going to want to get some of his belts, but I think he's vacated most of his belts. I think he's still got the WBO title, but he's going to want to become unified champion again. And he's confident, he's happy, he's having a great training camp. So he's going to be going into this fight very, very confident and believing in himself and believing he can do the business. Lopez will have other ideas. What a great fighter Lopez is. Just have a look at him if you've not seen him. I'm sure you have, but what a great fighter. Very confident, and still, even though he's getting on a little bit now in his career, he's still full of ambition. I think that's a great fight. I will pick a winner. I think Josh Taylor wins that fight in what's going to be a great fight. It's going to be close. I think it's going to go the distance. And I think the Tartan Tornado, Josh Taylor, will win that on points in a great fight.
So at the moment, Great Britain has 6 male world champions: Tyson Fury, Chris Billam-Smith, Josh Taylor, Joe Cordina, Lee Wood, and Sonny Edwards. How would you rank them?
How would I rank them 6 fighters? This is a bit of an unfair question, asking me to put them in order. All right, Lee Wood, my man from Nottingham, and he's just defended against Maurizio Lara in a rematch. Got knocked out in the first fight. In the second fight, he put on a boxing masterclass. Just tactically kept out of the way, used his jab, used a short, sharp right hand, didn't get involved, and got his title back. So I can't have him higher than Tyson Fury. Listen, Tyson Fury's got to be number one. Tyson Fury is a heavyweight champ. He's brilliant. He fights like a middleweight, people say, but I know what they mean. He's got fast hands. He's light on his feet. He can do everything. He can punch a bit. He can take a punch, because when he gets flattened, he gets off the floor and he carries on and usually wins. I know he had a draw against the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder. But yeah, Tyson Fury's got to be number one. I think Josh Taylor who's fighting Lopez next. I think he's got to be number 2. He's just a great fighter, unbelievable talent. I think he belongs at number 2. I think 3, 4, and 5, you've got Lee Woods, Joe Cordina, and Sonny Edwards. 3 top fighters. I mean, the fight with Lee Wood, which I mentioned, the rematch with Lara, I've got to stick Lee Wood at number 3. He's my man from Nottingham, the new sheriff of Nottingham. So he's at number 3, but it could be joint third with him, Cordina, and Sonny Edwards. Sonny Edwards, what a character. If you're not listened or seen him fight, great fighter and a great character as well. I spent a bit of time with him up in Sheffield for a boxing promotion, a boxing game called Undisputed. I was up there with him and I didn't want to leave him. He was just, I was just chatting away to him. And he's such a nice lad, he is. He really is. And his brother, Charlie Edwards, they're having a bit of beef. I don't know if they're actually going to fight. Who knows? But that'll be a good one. And I don't think brothers should be fighting. Klitschko brothers never fought. Me and my older brother used to always fight, but there was only ever one winner. And it wasn't me. He's bigger than me and older than me. Chris Billam-Smith just had that fantastic win against the Coley. So he's a newly crowned world champion. So my order is Tyson Fury, Josh Taylor, Lee Wood, Joe Cordina, Sonny Edwards, and Chris Billam-Smith. For no particular reason, on maybe the joint third could be Lee Wood, Joe Cordina, and Sonny Edwards. But that's my order. And Tyson Fury is at the top because that's where he belongs.
So, if you had one more fight and had the choice of either Vegas or Madison Square Garden, which one would you pick?
Oh, that's a good question.
And do you regret having never fought in either place?
Well, I'll answer that one straight away. Yes, I do regret never fighting in Madison Square Garden. People call it the Mecca of boxing, but I think Las Vegas is, and that probably answers my question. I'd rather fight in Las Vegas than Madison Square Garden. I can remember Nassim Hamed fighting Kevin Kelly at Madison Square Garden in New York, and I watched. I didn't go, but I watched it on television. I just thought, Madison Square Garden, that's the place to fight. I mean, there's been hundreds of real top world title fights right there in the Garden, but Las Vegas for me is something that I missed out on. I got to go to Atlantic City, which is, I've said before, it's like Blackpool on steroids. It's the old Vegas. When Vegas was made or built or created, then the Broadwalk Empire became like Atlantic City became like the old news. No one wanted to go there, so that became dilapidated and run down, and nobody was interested. So yeah, Las Vegas is the Mecca of boxing, and if I had a choice between Madison Square Garden and Las Vegas for one more fight, you never know. Conor McGregor might take the bait. Jake Paul might. Which I think Jake Paul's realised he's got absolutely no chance against the Cobra, so he's done. But anyway, if a fight was to happen and I had the choice, it would be Las Vegas because that is the gaff. I kind of missed out on that, but no regrets. I had a fantastic career, and I did Wembley Stadium, as you all know.
Don't go there. If you could invite 5 boxers, dead or alive, to dinner, who would they be and what would you cook?
Who would they be and what would I cook?
Yeah.
Why is what I'm going to cook going to have any relevance? I wouldn't be
Who would
worried
they be?
about the food. They'd be leaving if I mind you saying that. I do a nice pan-fried sea bass with a bit of chilli and garlic, so that's probably what I would cook. Who would they be? Well, I'm going to want Rocky Balboa there. Fantasy fighters as well, I'm assuming. I mean, Rocky Balboa.
Whoever you want.
Sylvester Stallone, Rocky Balboa, he's going to be number 1 on my list. I know he's not a fighter, but he was Rocky, wasn't he? Rocky Balboa, the Italian stallion. Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Prince Nassim Hamed, because he's just funny, just for the crack. And then Marvellous Marvin Hagler. And I think we're going to have to chuck in a 6th one, because if you've got Marvellous Marvin Hagler there, you're going to have Sugar Ray Leonard, because it would definitely kick off. So there's my 5 plus a bonus one. That'd be a great meal. And I'd cook pan-fried sea bass. What
is your favourite film and what TV show are you watching at the moment?
I know I've got so many favourite films. I'm letting my kids watch a lot of films that kind of the old school films like Predator and Commando. I know Commando's a bit cheesy with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it's just a great film. And The Running Man as well. But my favourite film, I mean, it is an old classic as well, but it's not like one of them old classics. My favourite film of all time has to be Casino with Robert De Niro, aka Sam Ace Rothstein. And then you've also got Lester Diamond in there and Sharon Stone. It's just a great film. And it's based on a true story as well about when Las Vegas was ran by the mob before the FBI took out all the big corporations. But if you've not seen that film, watch that and then come and tell me that's not your favourite film. I've probably watched it about 3 or 4 times. There's a true story element to it as well. Obviously, it's all glitz and glams for Hollywood, but it's just a fascinating film. I've watched it 4 or 5 times and it's brilliant. Definitely my favourite film.
Now, TV show.
TV show. What TV show do I watch? You make me watch them, don't you? What do you make me watch? What's that one with all them? Oh, Selling Sunset. Yeah, I watched Below Deck as well. That's quite interesting. But Selling Sunset, I mean, I don't know why I watched that. I get forced into watching it by Rachel, my wife. And yeah, there's just so much viewing. I've always been into properties. They're just voluptuous and just beautifully structured villas and houses that are for sale. And there's quite a lot of decent looking women as well. But no, it's a real good show, Selling Sunset. I really, really do enjoy watching that. So if you haven't seen it, get a look.
What's the biggest animal you think you could beat in a fight?
What kind of question is that? Biggest animal I think I could beat in a fight? George Grove's an animal. No, no, that's cruel. We'll leave that one. Biggest animal. Did you see that bear chase them blokes the other day on Instagram? That bear chased them five.
Oh, actually, yeah, I did see that
men
one.
that jumped
Onto
on
the
roof.
building, yeah.
They was all scarpering. I had to turn around and just throw a big right uppercut, bosh, straight on the chin.
No.
On that big grizzly bear. I don't know. What's the biggest animal I could fight and get away with? Well, it ain't going to be a grizzly bear, is it? Let's be honest. Biggest
Some
animal.
people think they can beat a gorilla, but I'm not. No, I don't think so.
I'm scared of horses. In the size of horses. Listen, I love animals. I've got a little chihuahua. I should have brought the chihuahua in. Where's Benji? Benji! He's not here. He's asleep. I love animals. I wouldn't want to fight any animals, and I'm certainly not big enough to go toe to toe with anything that's got bigger teeth than me. Here we go, look. Here we go. Here's my favourite little man, aren't you?
Benji,
Say hello.
Benji, hello.
This is the biggest man I'd fight, animal-wise, and all I do is kiss him to death and stroke him. But yeah, I don't know if I've answered that question, but there you go. We'll cut it there. So that's it for this week. Another episode of Froch on Fighting. I hope you enjoyed it. Benji, say goodbye. He's having none of it. People ask me, why have you got a chihuahua? Well, let me tell you something. When you're as hard as me, you don't need a big guard dog. You don't need a pit bull or a Rottweiler. You just need a little chihuahua because you look after yourself, don't you? And he just stands and watches.
He'll bite the back of your ankles.
Yeah, true. A few postmen find out. So, this has been Froch on Fighting. I did mention earlier about a competition. It's not a competition. It's a giveaway to a faithful subscriber. Did I say that right? So, a subscriber of my channel, will be given a signed boxing glove next week, which is the 6th today, so 13th. So you've still got time. If you've seen this before the 13th of June, you've still got time to subscribe. I will pick a winner at random and send you a signed boxing glove just to say thank you for supporting me and thank you for following this amazing channel. Probably one of the best boxing channels out there on YouTube at the minute. So this has been Froch on Fighting. I've been Carl Froch. This has been Benji. See you next week.